Came for a visit just like you did.
Okay, we are the noisy ones.
That's fine. We're all, you know, that's. I've been meaning to come and visit Barry for a long time, and I never just life gets in the way.
No, but it's good that you
Thought you were
came.
calling me.
Do you think we can put domino on the kitchen table
Yeah.
So VZR, did you fly this one?
instead of
Well,
here? Because you'll be going to
That's a model.
So we go
Okay,
there.
but you know, I'm just wondering if
Wherever you want.
that.
Yeah, it's better because we are
Those are the
1, 2,
letters on my
3,
area.
4,
Oh, it was.
5.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Okay.
then we'll take the kitchen table.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you're familiar with that or
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Oh, she built that table.
Okay, there you go.
No, well, I've heard about it,
So
but
everybody
no, I
knows.
haven't.
I will put the children in the police.
You were here before? No, we haven't.
Okay, come on.
You showed me this at your.
Michael,
Yeah.
we were in your way, so we are good.
No, why are you leaving?
Because we don't want to be in your way.
You're not in my way at all.
Let's go. See you later.
Okay.
See you in a bit.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
am too joking.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you.
That's for you.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
This
you.
is another one.
That's the book that Denise just finished.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Denise put this all together. So there's,
Wow.
that's also for you.
Wow, thank you.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna read this tonight when I get home.
All right. There's one more thing. I don't know whether this is any use to you or not. It's not important, but at home in my garage, there's a big cardboard carton leaning against the wall on the west side of the garage, just as you go in the door. Inside are 4 by 8 feet panels out of, well, it's not plasterboard, but it's a fiber type of board.
Okay.
Just a lightweight panel.
Yeah. And back in about 1995, I think it was, Martha and I had made quite a collection of photographs of fighter pilots and friends of mine and I was the secretary of the association at that time. So I put a notice in our bulletin and asked everybody to submit pictures.
Okay.
So we mounted them on these panels. There are 6 panels there
Okay.
with pictures of fighter pilots and a few other stuff. And there's also the material to put together easels so that these can be mounted,
Oh, okay.
mounted up on the easel. Well, we've showed those panels at air shows and reunions and I don't know what all. It's been shown up many, many times. And I've always wondered, what am I going to do with them? They're no good to my family. I mean, you'd have to add on another room beneath. So I would like you to have those. And you can do what you want with them. You can display them at your reunion or your air show in June.
It's in 2016. It'll be in August 20th and 21st of 2016.
Whatever. Well, those panels are yours if you want them.
Okay. Well,
And you do whatever you want with
I
them.
will not refuse any
Well,
gift from you.
Perhaps it may fit in the future museum that you're trying to, you talked about.
Yeah.
So, okay. And that is a video of what those, I think, yeah, it's a video of those panels.
Okay. So.
But anyway,
What is that? Is just a video camera.
well, I don't know
Let's see.
whether it's, do any good for you or not.
Well, I'm sure I could find somebody, you
But-
know, a player that
Well,
could play those.
better you can see the pictures, or panels themselves. And Scott knows about this, I've talked to him and told him, and so he can
So
show,
Scott's can, you know,
he
when.
can show you all about it, where they
Okay,
are.
sounds good.
Yeah. At one time, they were a full 8 feet, and then we cut them in half. They were, get a pretty big to handle.
Well,
There's this raft of pictures there, just a raft of them. No, very little text on anything other than her name and that type of thing. But you'll recognize a lot of names.
have you talked to Doug Chisholm about this? Like about these pictures?
Doug, I'm sure has seen those.
Okay.
Now,
Well, I haven't talked to Doug for a little while now, but I'm just wondering if he, you know, because I mean, as you know, you've probably met him.
No, I haven't.
yeah.
He's retired now, lives in Melfort, and you know, he's the guy who, you know,
Yep.
archived all the
Yep.
Old North. Well, so here's a note from Buzz Burling, eh?
Oh, yeah.
You know, he was in same squadron as my uncle in Malta. Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
So Dad wrote in the, I think he wrote this in the front cover, didn't he?
yeah.
yeah.
I saw that. That's very nice. Yeah, that's very nice.
So that's
Absolutely.
nice for you.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I'd like to order a few of these
Yep,
books, Denise,
yeah, we
because
got you. Yeah.
I'm going to. This is going to be a treasure of a gift from Yorkton
Oh, boy.
to special aviation people who come in.
Mhm.
Well,
So there's a whole bag there for you.
Yeah, well, that's just, and you know, I had a couple little things I was going to bring, and I just, anyhow,
okay.
thank you very much, Barry.
You're very welcome. Here's something I just got recently from France.
Wow.
That's a French medal that they just put out for the 70th anniversary of D-Day. And they issued those to veterans who were involved in D-Day. So I just got that, a month or so ago.
Well, that's beautiful. And you know what's really remarkable is that you are still well enough to receive it, and that you're here with us to receive it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what the hell's happened to me, really. I was in pretty good shape when I arrived here. I walked right in. This oxygen business, well, that kind of crept up on me, I guess, when I was in the hospital.
with your
At Christmas time.
yeah.
And I was a little short of oxygen, but I could always, get back up to where it should be. But usually it's, this helps.
Yeah, well, for sure it does. And you know, what a great novel idea, Denise, and you know, that isn't this wonderful, like to be, you know, in a care facility with family. I mean, that's just fantastic.
You have no idea. You're looking after the whole gang.
Well,
This is
I
a
hope I,
tradition at this time of the day. No, this is,
we're all good.
Perfect.
We're all good. Okay.
we're perfect.
There.
Believe me, if it was a problem, I'd tell you.
Okay.
She would.
All right. Well, you
This
know,
is a tradition. You have to have blue cheese and a cracker
okay.
and a little bit of red wine.
Well, I
Or do not
can't
forget
I can't have any red wine though.
Okay.
I'll have, you know, anything, water, whatever.
Yeah,
But
ginger ale.
I-
Get
yeah.
you some ginger ale.
I'm sorry, I just can't have any red wine.
Denise started here with a standard house, 2-bedroom, normal house. She now has She looks after 5 seniors here.
Wonderful.
Each bedroom has its own bath, and toilet, and so on. She built it all.
You built it all yourself?
And a little bit of help.
She's a licensed journeyman carpenter, both in Manitoba
Really?
and Saskatchewan.
Well, thank you, Denise.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's
Oh,
wonderful.
yes, she's extremely talented. Oh, okay then. Oh boy.
How do we push this button here? There you go.
Okay.
Good
Good.
for now.
Well,
Cheers.
Michael,
Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Great to get together with you and have a visit
well, I
again.
was so glad that you finally made it.
And I apologize for taking so long. Cheers.
No.
We had a family reunion yesterday in Elfrost.
Yeah, well, you were saying.
Yeah, and 50 people showed up. So it was,
Whoa.
yeah.
But Harvard, that I flew in Yorkton back in August,
Yeah, in September.
he was responsible for that.
And of course, thank God everything worked out on Saturday, but on Sunday, just before they left.
Yeah, there's problems.
So it's almost finished. We actually might be getting Olivier. Well, I think he sent you an email, or he sent.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I think he's going to be coming in a week's time to pick it up.
The day we were there, and I guess it was a couple of flights after we left, what actually happened? Did the undercarriage collapse, or?
The oleo on the left side, actually the top of it exploded. Like, so it's, it's a pressurized cylinder that takes the shock of the landing.
Oh,
So the top exploded, like it cracked off, and of course then the wheel was just cavitating in there, and so just a little slight movement to the right caused the gear to swing,
yeah.
and she just ground looped and the wing touched, and of course so the left gear was destroyed, but in the ground loop the right gear got bent and the wing got bent.
Oh.
The flaps got damaged and the left aileron got damaged. So it was like
That's major.
oh yeah, well, a whole new left wing, and the elevator is fabric, so we redid that and rebuilt the flaps, 2 new landing gear. Yeah, it was a pretty major job, but it's looking better than it did before, and we'll have it back in service here shortly. So
It's been in his hangar at Yorkton ever since.
Yeah.
Last August.
did you see the pictures, or
Yeah.
So this little airplane I came here with actually belongs to a company in Steinbach called Harv's Air, and we rented it for a month for teaching our ag students, like our ag pilots. We do a course to teach ag pilots, and the Citabria is a good airplane to introduce tailwheel flying. And because the weather was kind of off today, and some of the guys wanted to go home, so the airplane was available, and I didn't have anything on today, and I said to my wife, I'm going to go and visit Mr. Needham.
And have you got many students?
We got 4.
You got 4.
4 students, and
What happens to your pilots that you have, well, during crop spraying season?
well, some of them actually. Well, we have one guy that he flies the King Air and the spray planes.
I see.
So he takes a leave of absence from the King Air world for the summer.
Yeah.
And then my son Devin also flies both.
Yes.
And then we have a couple of guys. One guy's from Ontario, actually, originally from Columbia. So he goes back home for the winter. He's an aircraft mechanic also by trade, so he does that. And another fellow is from Yorkton. His dad has a construction company, so they do snow removal and that type of thing, and he does that for the winter. And,
So they all find something to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And our students, we even have one student from Spain.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah. So, it's kind of interesting.
He's got a dual control spray plate.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say one of the only ones in the world, but
No, there's a few.
there
of them.
aren't too many.
There's not many, but I don't know if there's any dual thrushes in Canada other than ours.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a few dual airplanes
Yeah.
out there. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's just something we've tried to introduce people into the industry. You know.
And okay, one more question. Have you been talking to Wayne Sadler at all, or anybody connection with the Legion in Wynyard?
No, but I mentioned it to Scott. So what? Do you remember what the dates of that is, Barry?
June
I gotta write-
June 6th,
I'm just gonna
7th,
set
or
this up.
7th and 8th.
I'm just gonna put it right in
I'm
here.
not exactly sure myself.
Yeah, I knew it was in June.
It's two days, and I honestly, I have had nothing to do with organizing it or anything else. I was just considering my fortune if I'm able to be there.
Okay, so.
So I don't know very much about it.
Yeah, Sunday, Saturday, and the 6th and 7th is June.
I'm just trying to find the information here.
Well, it's around the 7th or 9th, I think.
And they had requested that we sort of do
Well,
a display or a demonstration. Do you?
that's what I
Yeah.
had in mind.
Okay.
If you did a simulated crop spray job with the smoke, I think
Yeah.
that would.
Okay.
I believe they've arranged for some aircraft to come from the Brandon group,
Oh right. Okay.
and I don't know what else they've got going, but they're going to bring in a bunch of Army vehicles, that type of demonstration.
Okay.
Are you Michael at Good Spirit Air?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sending you an email so that
Well, that sounds great.
You were able to find a date, Denise?
no, but I'm waiting to find out.
Yeah.
Well, type in Wynyard Legion. They've got a website.
Oh, okay, I'll do that. Okay.
So. I got so many things I'd like to talk to you about. I don't even know where to start.
Well,
You just passed away.
yeah, it's unfortunate that.
Well, I told you about that. Remember, I was telling you that Jack Dawes and I met a fellow by the name of Chris Lefebvre.
Yeah.
So Chris is from the United States.
Oh, with the Harvard. Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
and he's
yep.
part of the Commonwealth group there, and
Yep.
they've got a Harvard that started its life in Yorkton in 1941.
Apparently he was there
Yeah.
the last summer.
So he's going to bring that
He's
Harvard
gonna
up
come
here. He's going to bring it up here in 2016. So you got to hang in there, Barry, because we're going to have you flying that thing.
Oh, boy. All right. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the number of that aircraft, I do not have that in my logbook.
I know. We looked and we looked and, you know, just, you know, my problem, not problem. The one thing, you know, Denise sent me a couple of little pieces out of the book, out of your book.
Oh.
And you know, one thing you've done right is you've taken the time to do some, hi, I don't
Hi.
think we've met yet.
No, I'm Deborah.
Hi Deborah, I'm
Hi.
Michael, pleased to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So thank you for connecting with me and sort of
Well,
remind.
Well, good, yeah, because I thought, well, geez, you fly, you got planes, there's
Time
grass
go-
out here.
Time goes by
Small
and-
Just
crash,
makes sense.
Denise.
Yeah, and just make, you know,
Well, hey, it's not many people in this world that have the ability to just, you know,
I,
do
But-
things that quickly.
you know, I was just starting to say to your dad, the one thing that I read, there was a little, I don't know if it was in your email or, I think it was in your, you know, that, you know, your dad
No,
always
that's
took the
right.
time to go fishing and, you know, try to balance life and work and,
Yeah.
and I try to do that, but somehow I struggle sometimes, I have to be honest. I mean, you know, when our boys were small, we had a cottage at the lake and I made sure that I had time, but now with the aviation business at the level